At today's meeting in front of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler was severely beaten up by members of the House Financial Services Committee. It was Tom Emmer who made him feel extremely ill. On the inside, there are additional good ones. It is highly recommended that you watch the entire video, which I will link to in the description, since I believe that what Emmer stated has the potential to induce Gary Gensler to behave differently in the future. It will not be successful. It will be fascinating to observe what he has to say, and it is unquestionably worthwhile to listen to him. We are going to go into greater detail about that. To introduce myself, my name is Frank Cho, in case we haven't already met. I am hoping to improve the quality of your life. As part of this episode, we discuss topics such as investing, maintaining a personal budget, and cryptocurrency technology. If you haven't already done so, please click the subscribe button right now. Because of this, I will be able to keep you informed about all of the most recent news and happenings. Just before we get started, let's take a quick glance at the ET industry. We've made a gain of approximately 1.8%. XRP is currently trading at 59 cents, which indicates that its value has remained relatively unchanged at 2.26 trillion during the past 24 hours. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is currently valued slightly more than $64,000, representing an increase of approximately 7% over the course of the week. At $2,650, Ethereum has had a weekly increase of more than 13%. At this very moment, let us listen to what Tom Emmer has to say. A speedy switch to the chosen channel. I haven't seen you in quite some time there. My gallbladder had to be removed from my body. I have been unable to accomplish anything at all. You might see that my face is a little bit thinner if you look at it. Because of it, I was able to shed some pounds. I have been absent because I have been having a difficult year up to this point. The individual was taken to the hospital for that, but they were able to get out of there and are currently doing great. For your continued attention, I am grateful. Please accept our apologies, there have been some stops. After that, as we have already discussed, I will be moving when you have seen me in hotel rooms. Please accept my apologies for the brief hiatus nevertheless. We will be returning to you very soon after migrating to a different state. In addition, I have some planning to undertake which will require some bit of effort on my part. Remember to stay tuned for the time being, but be aware that there will be a brief hiatus coming up. However, let's get this done. Without further ado, we will immediately go on to the Tom Emmer against Gary Gensler matchup. We should pay close attention to what he has to say, for a period of 5 minutes. This is fine, Chair Gensler. You are aware that leadership begins at the very top, or are you not? There is a wide variety of sources from which leadership might originate, however, the top is of utmost significance. It is true that the top does make a difference, Gary. Thank you. The speed will be adjusted back by me. By doing so, you will hear it in a usual manner. In fact, it is. Oh yes, sir. It appears, however, that you expect political loyalty from both the people you hired and the people you appointed to positions of authority at the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC under your leadership. Doesn't that make sense? That is not correct, thank you. Alright, sir, that is yet another untruth that was intentionally designed to be untrue. Those emails that you and your new Director of Training and Markets addressed to each other have been viewed by the House of Representatives. You had a conversation with him for the purpose of conducting an interview, and after that he sent you a follow-up email in which he informed you that he shared your political beliefs. To put it another way, it seems as though you want the individuals you hire to work for the Securities and Exchange Commission to have a strong political allegiance. Your employees will be more loyal to you than they will be to the law or the overall objective of the SEC because of the people you hire and the way you manage your firm. Consequently, this brings us to the case of the debt box in Utah. Your legal team was aware of your anti-crypto speech, which is not founded on legal principles, and they intentionally lied to a judge in order to follow out their boss's directions to file lawsuits against entities involved in the cryptocurrency industry. Chair Gensler, are you aware of any other instances in the past in which a court punished the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) for having misled individuals about something significant? To begin, when we hire individuals, we do so on the basis of no, I need to get back to work, sir, and this is only the beginning. Due to the fact that it has never occurred, the answer is no. However, I would like to ask you one more question. Can you say that the very fact that we are discussing this topic today makes you feel even a tiny bit guilty? In that particular situation, it is true that things were not handled effectively, and we have informed the court of this fact. Emmer is going to be very severe with Gary Gensler in this situation because he stated that the situation was not handled appropriately. It is true that this was a cause of embarrassment in those attorneys at the Securities and Exchange Commission were dishonest on purpose, and they are no longer employed there. This is something that we have discussed on the channel. Even though there is yet another thing that makes the CC seem terrible, he is bringing it up in this meeting, which is exactly what he should be doing. Once more, I would like to point out that the debt box case ought to make you appear to be a nasty person, sir. To clarify, the Securities and Exchange Commission was required to pay with money collected from the general public. This massive deception and misrepresentation resulted in legal fees that were close to $2 million. Undoubtedly, you are already aware of that. In June, the chief of the SEC's crypto asset and cyber unit resigned. What's the reason behind this? It could have been due to the debt box case if you like. They did not, and instead went to look for another work. Alright, so it appears that no one in a high-level position in Washington, District of Columbia, has been held accountable for this total waste of taxpayer funds. The SEC violated the law, and your attorneys lied to the judge about the situation. None of the individuals who are in charge in this DC location have been held accountable for their actions. On the train tracks, it would appear that everything is proceeding according to plan in Washington. Alright, I'm going to make a sudden shift in my approach. The most recent news reports indicate that Vice President Harris has finally stated that she will establish clear laws for the digital asset area if she runs for president sometime in the future. Do you also behave in this manner, sir, or do you believe that she is reprimanding you because she believes that you have not established clear guidelines in a sufficient manner over the course of the past 3 years? The government was under her control. There are laws in place as far as I can tell. It is up to Congress to decide whether or not they wish to alter them. But we are according to the rules when a significant number of other people in this industry are not. Because of this, they are constantly arguing with one another. The last topic that Gensler will discuss is the legislation that was passed by Congress. Remember, however, that he is constantly breaching those laws and reinterpreting them at the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is something that his company is well known for in the industry. This has occurred quite a few times here. Considering the situation with the rebels, which we have discussed in great detail before, adhering to the guidelines, regaining control of my time, considering that there are a great number of court cases currently being heard, the market is quite confused, and millions of people in the United States are waiting for you to clarify things, it is fascinating that you view your job in this manner. The agency's enforcement capabilities have been exploited by you, and you have even utilized businesses who were willing to comply with your rules as bait in order to then conduct enforcement actions against those businesses. You have resisted the firms and individuals that brought themselves to this committee in order to discuss the future of the financial system in the United States. To make matters even worse, it is possible that you have invented the term crypto asset security. No law ever makes use of this particular word. It was a fabrication on your part. You did not provide any suggestions or explanations regarding the possible definition of crypto asset security inside the Internal Revenue Service. Even so, you have made a really valid point. The term crypto asset security, which was coined by Gensler and does not appear in any statute, advice, or clarity from the SEC that you would anticipate from your regulator, has also been the subject of a great deal of discussion among us. You have made a broad statement, which is that you believe the majority of tokens are for cryptocurrency asset stocks. You were the one who carried out this action, and you purposefully utilized this fictitious word as the foundation for your 3-year enforcement effort. However, just a week before last, your attorneys brought it up again in a footnote to a court. The fact that you hold such divergent opinions on this subject has caused our nation to go more slowly. At that time, we could not have had a more lawless or worse head of the Securities and Exchange Commission. In addition, I let go. There were some really unpleasant remarks spoken against Chair Gensler, but given what we know about Gary Gensler, it is not surprising that they were there. An unelected bureaucrat who continues to pursue his own plan at the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC and who is still striding for the position of Treasury Secretary for his personal advantage is acting in violation of the law. We are aware that this is what he desires, and if Kamala Harris is successful, we might see that he gets his wish. Time will tell, we'll see. Stories have been told to a great number of individuals yet.